So the reason I think that veganism is an ethical obligation is because farmed animals, or just any animal that we consume, farmed, hunted, otherwise, are individuals with a sentient experience. So that means that they have a mind and a nervous system connected to that mind that allows them to experience the outer world. And so when we stab animals in the throat, sexually exploit them, their reproductive, what the fuck is the term? Reproductive, like organs for the sake of artificial insemination, breeding these animals. Because we don't, I'm sure you guys might know this, I'm not trying to like mansplain. If you already know, just say I get it. But on farms, like, we force animals to be bred into existence. So, like, for example, on dairy farms, like, what they'll do is they ejaculate male bulls, electro-ejaculate, they, like, fuck around with their dicks, electrocute their dicks until they shoot jizz all over, and then they collect it in a vial, and they take that, and they extract it out, and they impregnate cows with it. They shove their entire arm, like, deep inside a fucking cow to orient its reproductive organs and force it to be pregnant. And colloquially speaking, that is called rape. So yeah, killing animals, breeding animals, torturing animals, and by torture I mean things like when after a mother cow is forcibly impregnated and she has a child, if that child is a male, since males do not produce milk, the child is killed immediately upon birth in front of the mother. If not, it's stolen from the mother. Mother cows are known to like bellow and scream out for weeks, days to weeks, because they're depressed and distressed because they had their child stolen and sometimes even killed in front of them for the sake of things like veal. So these are the things that I have an issue with, and the foundation is that animals are sentient individuals with experiences of the world that matter to them, and we shouldn't stab them, sexually assault them, enslave them, right? They're in cages in big farms, etc. Mm-hmm. And we shouldn't eat their dead bodies after all that.
Yeah. I like, just before starting, I like how like passionate you are about this, because there's obviously horrible shit going on, right? To me though, it does sound like you have a bigger problem with large corporation farming, right? And the way that they're now doing it and how artificial everything is, and yeah, like it sounds like you have a bigger problem with that more than the vegan, because I like meat, right? And I do believe in like us being omnivores, and like I think the best way to treat like a human, like a Homo sapien body, is to be an omnivore, and that's what we were like genetically meant to be. But because of how many people, like the overpopulation of the world, and because more of how cheap it is, people are doing shit like you're talking about with farming. And I don't think that that's all right. However, just because of how much, just because of the way that I live and like the way the system is set up, I'm not gonna not stop buying it. But like, yeah, I guess I want to know your opinion more on like on that, and like being, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I'm coming because I'm getting hungry, but I do want to finish out this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try maybe we can rush through it a little bit, right? So, like in terms of like, I definitely spoke about factory farming the most in my first like preamble, and the reason for that is like 99% of like animal byproducts and animal products are coming from factory farms. So like not to call you out, but just for example, the Honey Nut Cheerios you have here are going to be, the honey from that is going to be from like some sort of like huge like bee operation, right? And those insects are being exploited, etc. So it's not like, or I guess like the relevance of like, it's not like that I only care about factory farming here. It's like the biggest glaring issue. Like, sure, that is the case, but like I think they're all unethical across the board. And yeah, the only relevance of bringing that, like harping on that in particular, is because like a lot of our consumption is going to be coming from those farms in particular. Secondly, like in terms of like us being like omnivores, Like, so it's the case that like I don't know what you mean by that. Like, I don't think that there's like any like I don't think our biology determines what we like can or can't eat necessarily, given that like we can totally process like all plant foods, plant protein, and it's the case that when we analyze these things in meta-analyses, like scientifically speaking, we control for all sorts of different things. The top 2 diets in the world are going to be plant-based diets and Mediterranean diets. So those are diets that there's no meat other than in the Mediterranean diet, seafood, and no meat at all in the plant-based diet other than like plant-derived meat. Because right now we can resynthesize plant proteins into animal protein. Companies like Beyond do that all the time. So if you're talking about like from a health perspective, when I can resynthesize like, I don't know, like pea protein into like to be analogous to like steak, right? And we are going to be able to get all of the same nutrients from like plant-based diets that we would from animal-based diets, from omnivorous diet. And it's the case that like it's just the data shows that like eating a diet that is like analogous to what an omnivorous human would in the wild, with like red meat, with fish, maybe even pork, with poultry, etc., is not the healthiest. Like, it's not. Mediterranean diets and plant-based diets are the healthiest. Now, in terms of like my issue being with like a systemic thing, like sure, like it is a systemic issue. Like there are overarching fucking ad. There are overarching like concerns that are propagated furthermore by these things being industrialized and like we factory farm instead of like farming on a nomadic scale or something. So that makes it worse. But like something like what's it called? Like letting like animals graze in the wild, or like quote unquote having like no cage policies and like chicken farms. Like the biggest thing is like it's just not going to be efficient, because like let's say like we're just comparing like, so we both agree like how we eat right now is like really bad. It contributes to a lot of suffering. So if we were to then decide between 2 different worlds where we're all eating omnivorous and like we're like letting animals not live in squalor in factories, we're letting them roam, like the things that are versus like just like making all arable land like plant farms and living off that. The big difference is when it comes to omnivorous diet, 20% of the we get like 20% like energy, like nutrition wise, out of what we put into like animal agriculture farming, because the animals have to be fed plants, then we kill them, then we eat their bodies. So we could just remove that middleman, right? The physical body that we're like carrying nutrients through, and like eat what they eat and be perfectly fine. And you wouldn't have issues like worrying about like it's not going to be sustainable in terms of like business practices to not like industrialize these industries, and it's not going to be optimal in terms of diet. It's not the healthiest diet. It's not all that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I addressed most of it. Yeah. I'm rambling a bit. Yeah.
No, you're good. And like, yeah, I guess when you break it down like that,
it's just
and
like
saying like
gonna be like that's just it's not meant for us. Like it's not like, first of all, I don't believe in like meant for us, right? Like it's a case that like I'm not dead. I'm really healthy.
Yeah.
So like obviously like I'm not meant to like have eaten meat my whole life or anything. Like clearly I can live without that. Yeah, and then it's healthier, it's more optimal like in all fucking aspects, man.
Yeah, no. And like hearing that, like that's pretty cool. Like that you do that, and like that you're able to do that, right? And just to be, I don't know if blunt's the right word, but like what would you say to a guy like me that like I do enjoy meat, or like somebody that likes to eat meat?
I like meat.
Yeah.
I don't eat it, but I like meat.
Yeah.
So, there's just gonna be like alternatives that will satisfy you, man. Like, for like this is kind of embarrassing, but like I love meat so bad. When I like got convinced of veganism in like August 2021, like middle of August. And then like I was just like in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, like totally, like this is the right thing to do. I'm just gonna keep living my life. Like nobody's gonna challenge me. Like
Yeah.
And then like I did though, like I felt like morally compelled to care about it, right? Like it's clear that somebody's suffering and we can do something about it, and it's like perfectly fine for us to make this change. And so I think I was like felt guilty and like kept myself from my vegan friends like online, and they just like would ask me like, hey, like you are convinced of this like position or like this belief, like when are you gonna go vegan? And like I was asked this like one random night, I was like, oh bro, I guess I have to go like grocery shopping soon and just like make the switch. Like there's nothing stopping me. I don't have any arguments.
Yeah, literally.
So dude, what I did like the day before I went shopping, brother, I feasted on like, well, I tried anyways. I like just cooked like all the meat like that because I was like a steak buff. Like I love seafood. Bro, like it was bad.
You don't do any seafood or any?
No, I don't eat. I eat completely plant-based. But the thing is, like, I'm vegan.
You're vegan, okay.
So the thing is, like I eat fish. Okay. Right, so the thing is, bro, like, there's like, for example, like Gardein is a vegan product or a vegan company. They make fish fillets that, like, it's like insane, bro. Like, it like freaks me out. This like nowadays. So there's just like there's alternatives that are literally like they're freakishly the same, bro. It's like it grosses me out sometimes because I don't want to think about like eating something that's like analogous to a dead body. But like that's it. Like there's just like, bro, go to I don't know where you shop at, but there's just alternatives, brother. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
It's just like not super expensive or anything.
Dude,
it's
so
not
like for like what are you worrying about, or not worrying about, like just like kind of like if you could give me some concept of like what you eat and like what your lifestyle is like, and I'm not gonna get offended. I'm just curious because like I'll be able to give you advice based on that, right?
Well, like honestly, I eat at the calf now. Okay. It's next year I'll be moving into a house though, but like I like eating like more. I don't know, 4 or 5 meals a day and like doing like in the morning yogurt, something maybe a little lighter, but like key of hitting like 40 grams of protein probably every time, 50. And then I'll do like, I don't know, it really depends. I like chicken, I like beef a lot, right? So those are probably the main meals or like the main substance for lunch and dinner. Okay. And then something in between there, snacks, whatever. It might be this and that, but
so is it like with the cap, like are you like, is it like prepaid, like you kind of like pay at the beginning of the so you're kind of like beholden to whatever they have there, and then you also want to be like reasonable with the price, like you don't want to,
if you go over then you're paying that, and you know, we got like 2 weeks here of class.
There's only 2 weeks left.
Dude, we're done in 2 weeks. It's fucking sick.
Like dog, like I mean, worst case scenario, like stick it out and go vegan, like go vegan on your own volition. Like I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna be like go vegan right now, bro. But if you're in a situation where like it's gonna be too expensive, and like it might actually genuinely be too expensive here just because like they're trying to make a profit. Mm-hmm. But if you were to like go to the grocery store, it's gonna be about the same, if not cheaper. Really? Because like if you think about it, like the staples that I
feel like that's a lot of people's limiters. You know, like everybody's like, oh, it's too expensive.
Because like you think about meat, right? The thing is like you want to replace like the nutrients. So you want proteins, you want carbs, you want fats, healthy fats. So like a lot of the world eats beans and rice like for like their staple meals, and that's not like the most like palatable thing, right? But in terms of like nutrients, like if you're like dead broke, bro, like you can survive on fucking rice and beans, surprisingly. And then in terms of like meat, bro, so there's like really cheap alternatives, like for example like ground beef. There's something called textured vegetable protein, and so it's a vegetable protein that's like granulated, and you rehydrate it. It's dehydrated, you rehydrate it, and then you can cook that just like ground beef and season it just like ground beef, and it has like no, like the base flavor is like nutty, like a tiny bit nutty. Sure. But once you put your seasoning in there, like I don't know, like whatever you'd like to throw in there, it's gonna taste like fucking the seasoning, right? Like that's what happens to meat. So there's that. Textured vegetable protein is really cheap, and those like you can get that like at health stores. You can get like I think a pound for like $4. Oh, shit. And then the protein content's insane, bro. Like it's more than, I want to say more than chicken for sure. I don't know, more than lean beef. There's another meat alternative called seitan, and the great thing about seitan, it's a beef alternative and a chicken alternative. Like in terms of texture, you can make it at home, and You can make it from scratch or you can buy it, but the protein content is insane. I think you can get as high as 75 grams of protein per 100 grams of seitan. Like, imagine. And so it's seitan is it's gluten flour. That's what it comes from, right? So they take flour and they wash everything off of it except the protein, and then they elasticize that protein so it's like muscle. And so yeah, like, that's super cheap. And you can also, like, you don't have to, like, just eat it as meat. Like, the thing is, like, we think about, like, meat, like, dishes, but, like, these are, like, for example, like the TVP, like, you can make, like, oatmeal out of it, for example, because it's just textured vegetable protein. I forget I think it's, like, different proteins, like pea protein, things like that.
Sure.
Like, formulated together so it's, like, hard and you can chew it like ground beef.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I gotta get going. To be
yeah,
honest.
definitely.
I got, like,
Here, dude, you should take my @ and, like, hit me up, bro. Like, if it might be in the back of your mind. Hell yeah.